I'm going to try to explain a concept, ballistics concept here. Some people have a real tough time trying to understand this one conceptually. Let's see if I can explain it real easy. I've looked at a lot of charts on these. Charts to the untrained eye might be a little hard to understand, so I got some physical things here. We're going to pretend this is the scope, the rifle scope, and we're going to pretend this is the rifle barrel. What a lot of people think is that the bullet rises when it comes out of the barrel. It does not. It cannot rise above the bore line. The bore line, the straight line, imaginary line drawn through down the barrel. It cannot rise above this departure line. Okay, it can't rise above that. It doesn't have any wings. It doesn't have fins or ailerons or a rudder. It has no means to generate lift. It can only fall. As it comes out, it begins falling immediately. As it goes out, it intersects with this line of sight. The reason it intersects with the line of sight is because the barrel is very, very slightly tilted upward. Where this would be on a more of a horizontal plane, the scope, this is actually slightly tilted up, so they intersect. This is how they set these guns up. They've been doing it for 150 years. They know the little mathematical tolerances, and they just set their scope bases and barrels up for it. So you slap a scope on, it's already done. This is what's happening. Usually this distance, on some guns it might be 30 or 40 yards, the first point of intersection here, your first zero. That's why you can zero a gun up fairly close. If you know the ballistics of the round, you can estimate where it's going to drop to down the road. As the bullet's coming out, now check this out, it's dropping, it's dropping, it's dropping below that bore line, the line of departure, it's dropping, and then it's going to intersect. That's your zero. Say you have it set for 100 yards. And when you're adjusting the scope, all you're doing is adjusting the angle of this line of sight to coincide with where the bullet is at a certain range. That's it. It's pretty simple. The bullet never rises above this. Not when it's in the external ballistics phase. In the terminal ballistics phase, it could rise above if it hit something, of course, and ricocheted. Okay? It could rise above. But in the external ballistic phase, it cannot do that. It can only drop. Your first line of sight, bullets dropping, bullets dropping, bullets dropping, bullets dropping, bullets dropping. There's your other zero. That's why you can zero a gun fairly close, and it'll be zeroed for another range if you know the bullet drop. Pretty simple concept. I hope this explains it a little easier, because sometimes people just need to just look at something, okay? Now these angles here are highly exaggerated. You're talking about angles that you can't even perceive. So boom, it comes out, starting to drop. First point, first zero right here. It's dropping, it's dropping, it's dropping, it's dropping. As it loses energy and velocity, it's dropping. Boom, intersects with the line of sight again. That's your zero. Yep.